All right, good evening, Super Metroid fans. We're in for another good race in the SMRAT tournament tonight. Got MrGuyAverage and Xerolayne. Got a couple of 2-1 runners here that these tough Swiss rounds. The longer we go into these Swiss rounds, the tighter and tighter the matches get. This is definitely going to be a treat.
The galaxy is at peace.
I'm trying to see my trying to get my whole setup going here. Wanted to see if Speedrunners Arena is already live and I can watch in the background too. Yeah, there we go. All right. Speedrunners Arena is live. I'm trying to get this to show up right. One sec. Yeah. All right, just a moment. Okay, there we go. I'm all set now. Okay. Thank you. All right, so welcome back to what round is this? Round 4. This is round 4 of Swiss. Okay. SMRAT 2021. So just kind of put this into the context here. The 7 rounds of Swiss for the SMRAT. This is the Super Metroid Randomizer accessible tournament. The logic of this randomizer, items can be anywhere in Super Metroid, but the SMRAT logic will put items logically in such places that you don't have to do difficult tricks in order to acquire all the items that you need to beat the game. So both of our guys here are going to be wanting to find enough items to beat all 4 bosses: Kraid, Ridley, Dragon, Phantoon, and then beat Mother Brain. All right, looks like we're off here. And they're just about synced up left and right here. The timers will be the the real test to show you like exactly how close it is, but this early part of the game, it's going to be close enough, as you can see. So MrGuyAverage on the left and Xerolayne on the right. So they go tumbling down into Z. Gotta find some items early on. And you gotta love the atmosphere of this old Mother Brain room. I think we've all at some point in our lives got that great feeling playing Super Metroid the first time, just the amazing atmosphere of like going through this haunted planet and there's nothing here. Anyway, here's MrGuyAverage grabbing that morph ball. This is always the first item you find in SMRAT. It's always at this vanilla location. It's always going to be at the morph ball pedestal. And as you go right here into Blue Brinstar, or some call it Retro Brinstar, as it kind of reminds you of the old Metroid rooms. Now we'll start finding some randomized items. MrGuyAverage with some super missiles, so that's going to help. Yeah, sometimes these first items in the game can really dictate what's going to happen. Some power bombs in this area could open up more possibilities, including the Billy Mays check up this shaft here. But let's see, super missiles in the ceiling, the nice D-boost off of this little flyer. MrGuyAverage making that look so easy. Let's see if Zero can get it too. I think a lot of guys who run these SMRAT seeds have got this trick down. Ice Beam on the right there. So Ice Beam, really important item in SMRAT, because you can use Ice Beam in order to get to Bot Wound, get to Dragon. So it's really one of the coveted items in this logic and this tournament, really. So they'll be looking for suits. They're looking for. I mean, now you have Ice Beam. That is really coveted. It's good in Turian as well, and a few rooms have like nice little Ice Beam strats you can do. But MrGuyAverage, you see at the end of the elevator here, opting to turn it off because it does make a lot of these early game fights, kind of awkward. If you freeze something and then you have to shoot an extra time to kill it, it actually is a good strategy. Just turn off Ice Beam for the early game, because you can see Zero is shooting these guys twice each in order to get through. MrGuyAverage flying up the climb with those wall jumps. Zero is going to be using the platforms on the left side here. MrGuyAverage swiftly jumping up those platforms in what we call the parlor, and you can see he's able to cling to those ledges, the ledge grab, which is just definitely some advanced play. You can see that movement is so fast. Okay, Zero making a good, pretty clean climb here. He lost a little bit of health, but he's good. And you always end up finding bombs or power bombs at Bomb Chorizo, if you don't have them from somewhere else. High five. So Zero's going to be falling right behind. And with those power bombs in hand, there are definitely some different routes the runners could take at this point. MrGuyAverage going to duck in here and get what we call 230 missiles, because it's usually the last missiles you'd get in a 100% run. And look, it's actually a missile. A little bit of a disappointment for SMRAT, but that's fine. Got to find a little bit of ammo early, especially if you got just the pea shooter or just Ice Beam. It's nice to have a little bit of firepower in missiles and super missiles early on, so you really won't see runners skipping ammo this early in the seed. It's nice to have a little bit of firepower, and you don't really know if you're going to need to be collecting missiles for a long time or anything. Okay, Zero went into the pause. Okay, there it is. I guess I lost the feed for a moment there, but he's back. Okay, Zero also went to 230 missiles, and MrGuyAverage heading left through Terminator also grabs a missile. Okay, so nothing else too shocking so far. We got that Ice Beam, which, both runners found it, and they're both guaranteed to basically know that the other one found it, so not a lot of, difference in the route here. All right, so MrGuyAverage heading up to check the back of Gauntlet, sees the Charge Beam is one of those items. Now you're going to need to have 10, you're going to have at least 10 power bombs or the morph bombs or several other things in order to get through that gauntlet. So MrGuyAverage is probably going to have to come back later to get that Charge Beam. Now Charge is super important because if you get a decent beam combo and you have Charge Beam, you don't have to pick up all this ammo. You can beat Mother Brain. Normally if you're doing any percent or any like normal Super Metroid run, you'll find Charge Beam just out in the open, and you can use it to defeat some of the bosses like Ridley or Mother Brain. But in Randomizer, sometimes you have to skip Charge Beam and just pick up a bunch of ammo. Alright, MrGuyAverage finds some ammo here at early supers. You saw that mock ball as he ducked under that speed gate. And he also finds the first E-tank. People are always really happy to find some E, especially as you start getting into Brinstar, and there's some side hoppers, some enemies that can really punish you. Just having that first E-tank really puts a nice buffer on the health. And MrGuyAverage picking up all this ammo as he kind of ducks through the back of early supers here. Alright, Zero's right behind him, coming through this door. Watch as he jumps through the door, rolls into a ball, keeps his running speed. Oh! Thought he had it. Tricky move. Okay, but he's going to reset the door. He's probably going to be able to do it if he just gives it another attempt. Hey, we've all been there. Okay. There's the good mock ball, and he ducks under these speed platforms. So you've already seen this slight skip through the speed gates. And that's one of the sequence breaks that speedrunners of Super Metroid just have under their belt. MrGuyAverage heading down to Edicoon's here when Zero's getting all these checks that we already saw. Some more power bombs at Edicoon's. That's good because now you can get to that back of gauntlet with 10 power bombs. Plus, it's just awkward to only have 5. And we saw that spring ball before he went through the door. Spring ball, nice movement item. You can do a few tricks. It kind of opens up some possibilities if you end up doing Suitless Meridia. Spring ball's nice because you can kind of hop up in certain morph tunnels without needing to use bombs. So spring ball, a decent, nice item to have. And some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's good and pretty helpful in certain situations. Okay, Zero also following right behind, heading down to Edicoon's, going to find that spring ball. MrGuyAverage did pick up that reserve tank. It's nice to have that energy early in the game like this. So that'll be his 3rd tank. You can see 2 up there, and then 1 is in reserve. Okay, Zero's following the same route here. Oh, and you can see that one of the downsides of spring ball, MrGuyAverage just showed it off there. But if you go for a mock ball, but you just miss the timing, it'll hop you up. It'll pop you up with a spring ball jump. So that's something to something that you'll see sometimes as people are playing quickly and trying to get through the game, and then you see a huge hop. Sometimes they're going for a mock ball and just missed it, but you can see the big hop. And you think that's why spring ball is the worst item. Hey, there's an argument to be had. I admit that. And what we saw out in front of Mission Impossible there for MrGuyAverage was the grapple beam. So that's a nice pickup. As the runners are thinking about the logic of the seed, what was available, grapple definitely puts the wreck ship into logic, meaning that you can grab a couple more items up there across the moat. Right now we don't have a logical fight at Fantoon yet, but people would want to probably do both of those at the same time. But grapple beam's definitely a clue. It opens up the check at X-ray pretty easily. A few other things open up just with grapple beam. So, I mean, most things don't actually require the grapple beam if you know what you're doing, but it definitely helps. And it's sort of a clue in the SMRAT sense, like which way should I go? What kind of items did the seed give me? And in SMRAT, like grapple beam is sort of one of those clues about the wreck ship, or a few other places too. It also helps with Suitless Meridia. I mean, you kind of hope that's not going to happen in SMRAT. Some people like to see it happen because it's so exciting, and you definitely get to see some advanced tricks. Zero here, picking up the grapple beam, following that same route as MrGuyAverage. As MrGuyAverage heads into Spore Spawn, grabbing some supers. Okay, so let's just kind of like take stock here as we're running around Pink Brinstar. And we're about to see the last item down there at Charge Beam, I think, with MrGuyAverage. And it's at the Charge Missile, Green Hill Zone. Let's see what's down here. A super out in front. But yeah, as this seed's kind of opening up here, it's Charge Beam is in the back of Gauntlet. They definitely well, I know MrGuyAverage checked that and actually see if Zero checked it too. But X-Ray Scope at the Charge Beam Chozo statue. It's kind of a fun one, especially if you can set up the full microwave beam with plasma, charge, and X-ray. It can actually be a very useful item in SMRAT. Okay, Zero's at the Spore Spawn Supers, and MrGuyAverage grabbing those missiles in the Green Hill Zone. Okay, so now both runners looking at some comfortable ammo here. 30 supers. That's definitely enough for Ridley, and pretty much anything that they would need to do outside of like Suitless Lord Warfare or something. So ammo is looking good. They know where Charge Beam is, and hopefully you can find some more beams and make that more powerful option. Okay, Zero making his way into the big hoppers and hitting that wave gate with the super. Nice trick. MrGuyAverage doing a little bit of a farm here. I think he's gonna go into X-ray. Just wanted to have a little bit of a buffer on his health, I think, going in there. Sometimes stuff can smack you and knock you down, and you don't want to accidentally die having not saved, so gotta respect the Gotta respect a little bit of farm, a little bit of careful play. Good. Zero getting out of the wave gate. That's definitely one of the perilous rooms in Brinstar there. Okay, and following that same path down toward the charge beam spot. He's going to find that X-ray scope as well. Okay, here's MrGuyAverage revealing the X-ray. It's another reserve tank, and he just bails on it. Yeah, you know, you require 3 E-tanks to beat the game. It's nice to have more. But, you know, reserve tanks don't refill your health when you pick them up. That's sort of one of the big differences between energy and reserve tanks is you pick up the reserve tank, but it's an empty trash can. You have to actually fill it up yourself. Kind of batteries not included kind of a thing. Okay, Zero's starting to skip his missile there. Trying to make up some time. Okay, now MrGuyAverage making the decision to go up Red Tower. So he did that X-ray check, then kind of like wiggled the other direction to head up Red Tower. So he's following that clue that Grapple Beam is telling him maybe the wrecked ship is a play. There's definitely some items here at the top of Red Tower, at the Alpha Power Bombs, Beta Power Bombs. Zero also following this path into Red Tower. We'll see if he ends up going to X-ray as well. Okay, and here's a fresh check for MrGuyAverage at Alpha Power Bombs. It is a missile. And he grabs it. Maybe he kind of regretted grabbing that, but who knows. Okay, he's gonna grab this missile too. Hey, might as well take the ammo. It's still early, pretty early in the seed. Can use it. It's all good for bosses. Welcome Invarial and all the raiders over there. Welcome to the SMRAT tournament. Going through these Swiss rounds, where you know 1-0 runners face 1-0 runners, then 0-1 faces the 0-1. And right now we're in the round 4, so these are both 2-1 record players racing in the randomized Super Metroid. And let's see what's down here. Beta Power Bombs. Oh, so the top of Red Tower here was a total bust. It's just 3 million. That's kind of a bummer. Okay, we'll see if MrGuyAverage decides to bail or if he's going to keep on going toward the wrecked ship. Okay, he's going to keep going. I mean, a lot of times, you know, sometimes you want to like dip this direction or that, but a lot of times people like to commit to going. They go up Red Tower, they're going up. They go down, they're going down. And you know that's a fair way to go too. I think a lot of people kind of simplify SMRAT to: did you go up Red Tower or did you go down? Both of our runners here opting to go up Red Tower. We made a lot of the same decisions in doing so. Here's MrGuyAverage flying across the moat with that grapple beam, so you can see those grapple blocks up there. It's one way across. And that's really the expected way across according to SMRAT logic. There's only a few ways to get across the moat according to the logic. Either space jump or grapple beam or gravity suit with an infinite bomb jump would be possible. So it's really only a few ways. Or to go through the back of the wreck ship. It's possible to like use your gravity suit, come through the back way, through Meridia, the Forgotten Highway. All right, well, MrGuyAverage checking the left side missile, and he finds that space jump. Nice item, nice movement. And one of those items that's required by the logic to get to Lower Norfair. So another sort of breadcrumb for these runners toward the adventure of Lower Norfair. Okay, Zero's heading over to the ship. He's got no more power bombs, so he's taking the refill here to stock up. Meanwhile, MrGuyAverage is entering Fantoon, so we'll get our first boss fight here. Zero also taking that save. I think he took the save. Yeah. Space, yeah. The final frontier. These are the voyages of Samus Aran. To boldly go where no space woman has gone before. I'm just captivated by the gauntlet happening at the same time as Fantoon. Zero's going to be checking the front of Gauntlet here. We haven't seen what it is in the front. We only know it's a charge beam in the back. Meanwhile, Mr. Guy Average is doing a dangerous Phantoon fight. He's down there 54 health, and all these hits are 40 damage. So he's got to watch his health here. Sees those health pickups, and he's really going to make sure he grabs them. There they are. Oh, meanwhile, Zero finds a missile at the front of Gauntlet. Kind of a disappointment. All right, Mr. Guy Average finishing off Phantoon. First boss is down. That opens up the top of the wreck ship if he decides to go that way. These are the voyages of the SMRATers. Yeah, there you go. And you really like getting charged before Phantoon. Yeah, that's a good call in the series because, you know, having the opportunity to use the charge beam to, you can charge a shot, do a spin jump, and basically get a pseudo screw attack. So yeah, that's definitely a good like defense mechanism on Phantoon. But I think MGA here just fearlessly going into the, you know, he ain't afraid of no ghost. He's just gonna go in there with 2 tanks and no suits and no beams and just take him out. Alright, so Zero picking up that charge beam. Mr. Guy Average starting to loot the wrecked ship here. Finding a missile on the right side. Quickly does a 180. Get out of this room without getting hit by anything. Okay, Zero heading back toward the ship and possibly the wrecked ship. That charge beam. It'll definitely be a safer fight. Okay, on the left side of wreck ship here, you find some super missiles, just some more ammo. It's always nice to grab these supers. I mean, just because charge beam has been located doesn't mean that you necessarily have to use it to kill Mother Brain. Like, if you just get like ice and charge, that's still going to be a lot of shots. So I think picking up these supers as you go is definitely worth it. He has a beam. Yeah, and both these runners did pick up Ice Beam. I think you see that down there. But they've elected to turn it off, especially for this early part of the game. But, you know, you can always turn it back on later on for boss fights or for, especially for Turian fighting those Metroids. Oh, Mr. Guy Average going through the spiky room of death. He gets across. Whew. Taking one or two hits from that spike. I think just one. But yeah, that's definitely a scary room. Okay, Zero heading all the way down here into Retro Brinstar second time. I'm going to go check for Billy Mays. And Mr. Guy Average, you know, using one of the advantages of, you know, you're playing on Super Metroid, you're playing on Super Nintendo, you can actually reset with the save. If you go all the way over to that east side of the wrecked ship and find nothing good at the E-Tank, it's actually faster to just, once you've spotted it, you can just reset back to the save point and continue on like nothing bad happened. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Okay, Zero finding an E-Tank up there, Billy Mays. Maybe he's looking for something a little more high-powered. Skips over the missile for now. Mr. Guy Average up here in the attic. This is like, you know, a nice bit of combat and definitely a prolific speedrunner's room because of, you know, all the tactics that are required. It's sort of a mini boss fight in a way, the attic room. So many slick ways of getting through the attic, and Mr. Guy Average showing you one of those. Putting on a clinic. And he spies over there on the right. That was just a missile, so he quickly takes some damage from the spark and then uses the invincibility frames to kind of like bonk through the robot. So, you know, exploiting some of those hitbox attributes of Super Metroid like a pro. Okay, Zero heading out of Brinstar now, having checked everything that's not speed locked. He did Billy Mays. He checked the meme route power bomb. Probably disappointed he didn't find something cooler there, but you know, it was probably worthwhile. And then Mr. Guy Average checking the wreck ship reserve. It's only a super missile, but that was a pretty swaggy move, like how he popped across the top of those blocks with the spring ball. See, spring ball has its pretty tricky uses sometimes if you know what you're doing. I hadn't seen that particular trick before. That was pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. That is the great thing about watching new runners. Oh, And if you didn't see that, Mr. Guy Average is up at the Sky Missile, and he was trying to use the low jump space jump, and he shot the block. It's the Varia suit. Yeah! Best location in the game. Okay, yeah, so Sky Missile has the Varia suit. That has become a pretty notorious spot lately, I think. A lot of people are really being wary about skipping the wreck ship these days, because it sounds like last year SMRAT, everybody was skipping the wreck ship, and those people were winning. But this year, it seems like a lot of times going to the top of the wreck ship is going to find you a suit. Could be Grav, could be Varia, you know. Anyway, it's randomized, so, you know, at some level, maybe we're all just being superstitious, but wow, another Varia suit in the Sky Missile. So yeah, that's a huge find. Definitely one of the important items to beat the game. You can get down into Norfair, all those heated rooms, and lower Norfair, of course, to fight Ridley. Varia suit is super, super important. I mean, not required, but it definitely makes the game a lot easier. Zero says, looks like gravity's at the bottom of Red Tower. Yeah, very good point, Zero, because we're thinking about the logic here, and logically, to fight Fantoon, Mr. Guy Average should have needed either 12 E-Tanks, or 6 with Varia, or 3 with Gravity Suits. So probably Gravity Suits out in the open somewhere that doesn't require any other suit. So it might be that Zero ends up finding the Gravity Suit before he even gets to go to the wrecked ship. So yeah, very, very good point. And Nevd pointed out some of the intricacies of the logic too, that, you know, maybe you would have wanted to skip bowling after finding that suit. And yeah, very good point. Especially because they already have ice. Really, the only thing that they need to beat the game is that other suit. And need is kind of the wrong word too. Oh, look at this underwater item with Mr. Guy Average. The wave beam. Nice, nice find. Especially as he's thinking about like pumping up that beam combo to pick up charge beam. And you know, now that I think of it, maybe Mr. Guy Average is gonna just actually leave that gauntlet check all the way till the end. He might go clear all the bosses and then go to gauntlet right before Torian, now that he's seen what's there and he knows that he has enough ammo to do everything else in the game that he needs to. He may just skip it all till the end. I mean, he may just not go back to gauntlet till the end of the game. That'd be not a bad play. And well, okay, you know, this is also a good play. It looks like he is going to just go back for either a ship refill, or he's going to go to gauntlet right now, or both. I mean, maybe kind of calculated like, well, kind of want to refill right now. Meanwhile, Zero's right here at Kraid, getting it back up. Quick kill, nice. So yeah, if you can stun Kraid with his mouth open there with some super missiles, 4 super missiles into the mouth of Kraid while he's stunned, takes him down before he even gets the chance to stand up. Zero finding that speed booster. Okay, now let the theories commence. Is it going to be a speed-locked gravity suit at Climb Supers? Because Ice Beam was out in the open. Oh boy. Now it can't be gravity at Waterway, because that requires a short charge with the speed booster. Waterway's got that water kind of blocking the speed booster blocks. So it's possible to get in there without gravity with kind of advanced trickery, but if you are looking for a gravity suit, you're not going to find it at Waterway. Yeah, I know, the suspense, right? Gravity could be at, you know, that Criteria super missile Climb Supers. Let's see. Zero's looking for this E-tank. Just finding a missile there. Duck out. Oh yeah, and I was kind of like positing about Mr. Guy Average's options here, but he is just going to go all the way into Gauntlet, and he found that missile in the... He's going to find this missile in the front. He may just save scum it. Nah, he's going to go all the way through and grab Charge Beam. Not bad, not bad. I mean, if you find Plasma on the way, you do have the fully charged Microwave Beam this way, with Plasma, Charge, and X-Ray. So that's definitely on the table, and not a bad play. Okay, here's Zero heading into high jump boots for some fresh checks for us. We have not seen these yet. Find an energy tank there. I see some supers out in front, but he's gonna skip them for now. Maybe he just grabbed them on the way out, or maybe he is actually done picking up supers. Gravity at the climb would be Zero's best hope. Yeah, maybe that's true. Oh, look at this. He kind of shot in there to kind of like spy it, and it's a screw attack. Nice. Zero with that screw attack. Definitely makes every runner more fearless, especially going into Lower Norfair. You can't go in there yet, but when you get around to going to Lower Norfair, having that screw attack, especially for those red key hunters, is really helpful. 2 locations remain, says Zero. Yeah, let's see, where else could gravity be? It could be at Bubble Mountain. You can speed booster over there. That's logical. And Climb Supers is the other one. Those basically the 2 speed locked items. Of course, each of the runners has only checked like some of what the other one has. We're sort of got the omniscient knowledge here. MrGuyAverage heading over to the left. Is he gonna go spy the Climb Supers item? I think he's gotten everything else over here. Oh no, he did. He has not gone down to Retro Brinstar in the meme route, so that's what he's gonna go check, I'm guessing. He may scout out. Oh, what was that Bubble Mountain? It was a reserve tank. Okay, so that narrows it down, like Zero's saying in the chat here. Looks like it's probably Climb Supers for gravity, or sometimes these logical chains can get kind of wild. Okay, yeah, MrGuyAverage gonna check the Climb Supers item. Now we'll get to peek at the truth. Gravity suit. MrGuyAverage showing his frustration that he found it, but not with the item to get it. So now he's gonna have to go hunting. But definitely a smart play to check this item, because he knows that somewhere out here in like the opening area of the game, out here in the open, it's gotta be Phantoon access. And there's really not enough items out here to get 12 E-tanks, so Zero must be onto the clue as well, because he's heading back through Red Tower. And here he gets to the vertical part of Red Tower, the tower proper. MrGuyAverage is going to be taking some time looking for that speed booster. He's not found that speed booster yet. Zero happened to go to Kraid first rather than Phantoon. Now Zero could be looking for gravity. Really, well, he's got to figure that he doesn't have logical access to kill Phantoon yet. I mean, maybe you can find it at the front of the wreck ship, but Grav at the climb makes it nicer to route wreck ship before Meridia, so that's good news. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he's probably gonna go up to the wreck ship first. Yeah, 0713 in the chat was saying that, like, yeah, we know that it was at Climb Supers before the runners do, but yeah, Zero's probably gonna go check the wreck ship first. It is more checks. Yeah, this did work out well for Zero, finding the speed booster first. MrGuyAverage, making a smart play here, making sure that he locates the gravity suit before going too deep into the game. Realizing that he must have realized that it must be in an early location, and so he was making sure to check that Climb Supers and making the gamble that speed booster also is out in the open somewhere. So Zero also finding this wave beam. He'll be happy about that because he's been skipping some of these supers so far. If gravity was on Zero's path, this would probably be a huge lead, but now it's a lot smaller. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it depends on it. Yeah, it does kind of depend on what Zero decides to do here. I mean, hopefully he clears the whole wreck ship and finds both of those suits. But yeah, I would think that after they're doing the whole wreck ship or half of the wreck ship, you'd go to Climb Supers. Oh. But yeah, it would be kind of a shame if Zero ends up going to the wreck ship or sorry, goes to climb, if he skips the top of the wrecked ship, finds the gravity first, and then bails on the top of the wrecked ship, going to find Varia in Meridia or something. I mean, that could happen. Okay, now back to the play-by-play here. Zero's heading into wrecked ship to try to find, try to find a suit. And MrGuyAverage is down here near Kraid. Just head past the tunnel, and sure enough, he's heading into the Kraid layer first. Zero heading over to this left side missile, which is actually space jump, we know. So it's nice to find. With that space jump screw attack combo, you're just an invincible flying fireball. And what a great feeling. I think all of us remember some of those early days of playing Super Metroid where you just felt invincible flying around with screw attack and space jump and, you know, exploring the world. What a great feeling to have screw attack with space jump. Alright, and we got a double boss fight. MrGuyAverage entering Kraid at the same time as Zero's entering Phantoon. Pretty fun, because each of these runners did the other boss first. So now we're it's kind of like a sync up. Okay, MrGuyAverage got Kraid. Got him to stand up with only one shot left to go. Knocked him down. Let's see, Zero. Okay, MrGuyAverage finding that speed booster. Things are coming together. Now he's gonna probably bolt for that gravity suit. Or he may go down first. I mean, I don't know. Is he gonna go down first? I mean, I think he would go get the suit. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really thought that through. Okay, Zero's putting some missiles into Phantoon here, and then a Doppler putting a few missiles in at a time. You can hit Phantoon fast enough with the missiles by running at him. Get a few extra hits in before he disappears. So that's a good strategy a lot of people use. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then see if we can get a few in at once. A couple. Okay, Phantoon's definitely getting riper now. As he gets closer to red, you know he's nearly dead. Oh wow, that rhymed. I was not trying to make a rhyme right there. Okay, MrGuyAverage jumping out of Kraid's lair and heading down the elevator toward Upper Norfair. And Zero's got Phantoon down. So now, both runners got 2 bosses down. MrGuyAverage heading into Norfair, Upper Norfair, with the Varia suit, and with the knowledge of where gravity is. And he immediately goes to the right toward the Froggy Speedway. He's heading toward Lower Norfair, it looks like. He's just going to start blazing through this game. Knowing where the gravity suit is, maybe he just wanted to go down here and then go back, get the suit, and then, you know, go finish after that. Because this could be a cozy Lower Norfair with space jump, screw attack. Oh, but MrGuyAverage didn't find screw attack because he didn't go to high jump boots. So, still a pretty good loadout for Lower Norfair though. He's got good power bombs. He's got plenty of super missiles. Zero starting to do the checks in the wrecked ship. Now he's on the right side, finding a missile over there. And as he checks the left side, he's just going to find another super. Okay, so here's MrGuyAverage heading in for the lava dive. We're trying to get a certain setup on his entry into the lava dive here. Oh, without high jump boots, this is going to be a high jumpless lava dive, I see. So if you can like morph as you hit the lava here, and then use this flame coming from right to left. Okay, he doesn't like the setup. He's gonna back out again. Definitely difficult trick to do the high jumpless lava dive, but looks like MrGuyAverage happy about health right now. He was trying to do all this without speed booster on, I see. Okay. So maybe he didn't realize what his particular loadout was and is now kind of backtracking to see if he can find something else, or maybe he's just kind of panicking about his high jumpless lava dive. Okay, I guess we'll have to ask about that after the race. Like, oh, what happened? It looked like he looked like he had the right setup. So, I mean, I don't really know if Mr. Guy Average has done a lot of high jumpless lava dive. I would maybe Zero heading to the wreck ship E and bailing on it. It's definitely a difficult trick. So if you're really not feeling it, like I can see why somebody would just be like, "All right, never mind." They're like, maybe he just went for it thinking like, "Oh, I've got Varia. I'm going to go to Lord Norfair." And when he got there, he realized, "Yeah, maybe this is a little bit harder than I want to do right now. Maybe I'll just go grab that gravity suit, save myself some trouble." But yeah, I could see if you were just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go try it once, and if I'm not feeling it, I'll just go get gravity suit and get on with my life. I mean, he must be feeling great about having found Varia, having found gravity, having found ice and speed, all the other stuff. Basically the only thing he's missing is a really solid way of killing Mother Brain. 40 supers. He knows where charge. He did actually go pick up the charge beam. So charge ice wave. I'd really like to have one more good beam for Mother Brain here, but other than that, he's probably feeling like a great loadout. Probably worth the trouble to go get that gravity suit. So, but hey, it was a valiant effort to go for the high jumpless lava dive, and yeah, I could definitely see that it could possibly save a bit of time. Just go into Lower Norfair and then come back up here later. Okay, meanwhile, Zero's up here in the attic, flying through with space jump and screw attack. Yeah, where's the final reserve tank? That's right. Is it? Ultimately, it doesn't really matter except for the completionists in the crowd. Oh, Zero shot that wall, but he didn't pick up the item. So we got a 2 for 2. Second attempt at the sky missile here. Zero with the various suits. Yes! Let's see what's over here. Oh yeah, it was a missile. Okay. Mr. Guy Average. In a hurry. Heading over to climb supers. He knows... and just sort of muscle memory lays a second power bomb there, because normally that's a power bomb door. And he flies up that shaft. Oh, with just enough health. And picking up that gravity suit. And look at this sink. 2 rooms full of spikes at the same time. And that was a nice little combination there. Mr. Guy Average mockballing through the morph hole, and then spring ball jumping at the end of the platform, unmorph, and then grab the ceiling with the grapple beam, faster than I could say it. Very impressive. And again, showing off those great ledge grabs in the climb, or in the parlor there. While Zero's going over toward the wreck ship reserve tank and checking some of these items we've already seen. But he's not really going to find anything of substance over here unless he wants these super missiles too. Alright. Mr. Guy Average, fully loaded. All he could really want at this point is a little bit of a better beam combo. Or more super missiles, but basically ready to rumble against Ridley and Dragon. And he'll probably just want to pick up some either beams or supers on the way to be ready for Mother Brain. Meanwhile, Zero finishing up here at the wreck ship, finding the last item, hoping that it's gravity suit, but it's not. So Zero, having finished all the wreck ship now, must be, calculating how many items are left and thinking like, wait a second, maybe climb supers? Can't think of how many items that Zero's actually skipped so far. He did go to Retro Brinstar already, and he did all the stuff, before the hot rooms of Norfair. So I think he's got a clue that he's got to go to climb supers. I would hope. Yeah, I don't think he skipped anything. Yeah, I think you're right, Tommy. So, as long as he doesn't forget about climb supers. But hey, that can happen. Sometimes you just forget about something, but I think since he came over here to the ship, he's thinking that he's gonna go to climb supers or criteria power bomb up here. Yeah. I didn't think of criteria power bomb. Yeah. So this item up here in the sky with the power bomb door in the vanilla game is a power bomb, so we call it criteria power bombs. It's just a missile in this seed though, so quickly does a 180. Meanwhile, Mr. Guy Average has entered Meridia, and before you could even blink, he's already like 4 rooms into it, flying through Meridia. With space jump and speed booster, Samus can really just fly through these rooms in Meridia, especially in the hands of a skilled runner. And here's an E-Tank. Definitely nice to grab one more E-Tank, especially if it's in your way like that. And he's also grabbing that missile. Yep, so now you're getting to the point in the game that maybe you do want to grab all this ammo that you can find so you can find a better beam combo. So doing these fast checks, you can see he skipped over the beach, the watering hole. He skipped over Mama Turtle, skipped over Crab Supers, and he's really just doing some of these checks that are kind of, in the way. Meanwhile, Zero is actually at Climb Supers. See how he handles this. Nice screw attacking through little flying bugs there. And getting the gravity suit. Okay, so both our runners fully outfitted for the end game. We both got ice and speed. We both got both suits. And Kath, yeah, bringing up a good point that sometimes you could pick up Ice Beam early and then forget that you have it. Especially if you're just going so fast in a seed like this, and sometimes you just get into race mode. It is easy sometimes just to forget what you've kind of tucked in your back pocket for later. Now where's Zero going? Probably just felt like falling down Red Tower instead of doing meme route. I don't know. Makes sense. Mr. Guy Average peeking at this precious missile. Oh yeah, and it's the high jump boots. Very nice, very nice. Not required by any means at this point, but definitely helps with the movement because the high jump boots actually make for pretty fast jumps. So that vertical speed definitely makes a difference from a speed running perspective. So not only can you reach higher platforms in a single bound, but be able to get there pretty fast. Okay, Mr. Guy Average using an X Factor here with the Power Bomb, Charge Beam, Wave Beam combo, and also setting up a Shine Spark, this huge combo opener on Dragon. So that horizontal Shine Spark does damage Dragon, and the X Factor particles do 150 damage each like a super missile. And Mr. Guy Average going for a second horizontal spark there, and a third one, and that is what happens when you kill Dragon with a Shine Spark. He's got that blue suit, which you can use to get a Shine Spark when he chooses to. For now, he's going to be moving slowly, but once he chooses to activate it, it's just super missiles, but he opts to grab them. It's kind of fun to use the blue suit to get a horizontal spark through the Coliseum up above here. So looks like he's going to hold on to it and using some of these deboosts off of the turrets in order to get across the room without having to run slowly. And with that space jump flying through the precious room, he activates the spark, jumps up to the top, sparks all the way across the Coliseum for a fast reverse Coliseum. Nice execution. And he's going to be running reverse through Meridia here to go toward Lower Norfair. No doubt. And a very nice reverse bot wound room there with the space jump and the speed ball into the blocks there. Amazing execution. And then a little bit of a little bit of a hiccup as he was figuring out how to get those blocks to blow up. Looked like a backup there, but you got it, you got it. Still really awesome rooms there for Mr. Guy Average. Zero heading down to the lava dive, and with the 2 suits and space jump, it's nice and easy to just fly right through the lava there, and you don't take any damage. No harm done. Zero going to take the save here. Maybe he's going to check GT. Golden Chorizo has some items, but if you find something you like, you could do the fight. Maybe he just wants to save to be safe. Either way, not a bad idea. Mr. Guy Average heading down to the tube. Be heading to the right. Head down the elevator toward Lore Norfair. So at this point, Mr. Guy Average chasing Xerolayne through into Lore Norfair, but Zero still has to defeat Dragons. At this point, it looks like Mr. Guy Average has the advantage. And with comparable ammo too. Xerolayne showing off that worst room in the game, but with space jump and screw attack, it is not that bad. I like that. He sees the big health and does a quick turnaround, double take, and then just decides to go. It's like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm in a hurry. I'm going for it. I don't need your big health. Yeah, like Kat says, it's a room in the game. When you got space jump and screw attack, you just feel like an invincible fireball blazing through Zebas. you got nothing that's gonna stop you. As long as you don't break spin. Alright, Xerolayne just blasting through some of these red key hunters. Heading down toward Ridley. Mr. Guy Average going through the lava easily and heading down the elevator without a save. No fear with this loadout, really. Zero blasting through these hoppers. And he's going to take a peek at Power Bombs of Shame just to see what's here. Oh, just a missile. Never mind. Guy Average setting up a spark here through the fast pillars. And there they are, the fast pillars! That short charge, horizontal spark. Able to just fly through that room. Oh, Mr. Guy Average never found screw attack, so he's going to do this wall jump. Oh, great new route strat there with using a power bomb to put the metal pirates into iframes, and then he just kind of does a wall jump at just the right spot to get up there. Great move, great move. A lot trickier than it looks. Believe me, I've tried. Let's see, and Zero doing a little bit of a farm before Ridley here. Might as well have some full health before going in, rather than taking a gamble on it. Fair enough. Blasting that eye door and heading into Ridley with a nice cozy 44 supers and 5 tanks worth of energy. 5 or 6, I don't know if he picked up the extra reserve, but should be a cozy Ridley fight. Supers do double damage on Ridley, so it takes 30 supers. Even though Ridley and Mother Brain have the same amount of health, it would take 60 supers to kill Mother Brain due to the double damage on Ridley. Zero's letting Ridley have it with those supers, but Ridley's not really cooperating. If you can get Ridley in that pogo pattern where he's kind of hopping like this, here it is, then you can kind of manipulate Ridley and get him in a spot where it's easy to put a lot of supers into him. Zero looks like trying to get a grab. There it is. Okay. So yeah, once Ridley's out of health, part of the fight is to try and get him to grab you. So Xerolayne getting grabbed, getting out. Mr. Guy Average at the farm room just before Ridley. So here's the high five. Mr. Guy Average going into Ridley. Also with a pretty cozy amount of supers, 38. Lower health, but it's definitely doable. High five. High five. Ooh, with a nice setup there for an X Factor, using that wave beam X Factor again to throw some particles at Ridley, saving some super missiles with that. Uses one power bomb to basically do the damage of 4 supers. But on Ridley, I guess they're it's not as much damage as a real super, so it's like 2 supers worth. There's Ridley, blazing fast. That was just a lightning fast fight by MrGuyAverage. If you looked away, you missed it. And MrGuyAverage with that smooth exit from that Ridley room. While Zero's just at the first set of red key hunters coming out. Yeah, take a look at the chat here. Yeah, MrGuyAverage, showing his way up that shaft with those sweet wall jumps on the tiny platforms. Zero makes his way through the top of that fire flea room. He's not checking anything else at this point. He's just gunning for the exit. Oh, he's gonna do a real quick check here for the missile in front of the jail, and doesn't find anything, so he's gonna keep on trucking. Oh, it's just so awkward going through these rooms with low jump. And yeah, folks in chat pointing out, MrGuyAverage definitely does have some impressive category times, and I mean, it really shows when you've got the right loadouts. I think in Rando, it's so interesting how sort of forces you to do rooms different ways than you normally would, do rooms in reverse you normally wouldn't do, use the different loadouts you wouldn't normally use, different beam combos, different amounts of ammo for different bosses, different setups. But MrGuyAverage has definitely shown that once he's got what he needs, he can really put it to good use, and we are definitely seeing a lot of great of those any percent and GT Classic strats that and all the other categories too, really. On display here with these high jump boots combined with the space jump. MrGuyAverage is putting them to full use as he space jumps through this room. And even a little bit of spring ball action there. Dodging the red key hunt. Second one. Bonks him. He dodges the third one. Oh man, that would have been it. Whoa. That was a little tight. Whew. Hey, you got anybody else glad they're wearing deodorant tonight? That got me sweating a little bit. MrGuyAverage dipping down to 50 energy on that last key hunter. Woo-wee! That was hot. Yikes. But hey, he made it out, so props. Props and respect. MrGuyAverage are getting out of that Lower Norfair. And you know what? I'll bet he wasn't even as phased as I was watching him. Red Key Hunter? What Red Key Hunter? Blasted on through there. Alright, so now we see both of these runners coming out of Upper Norfair. Xerolayne's going into Meridia. He's got to go fight Dragon on the way. Definitely got a good amount of stuff in order to do it pretty quickly. But MrGuyAverage has already beaten his 4 bosses. He's going to be heading straight toward Turian. Now this is the part people were asking about earlier. Why would MrGuyAverage go to Meridia first if he ended up just like going this way anyway? Maybe he just feels more comfortable doing that traditional, Dragon then Ridley. But who knows? Sometimes in Rando, you just go with your gut. If all things being equal, or things being nearly equal, you just kind of go with, you know what? I'm going to do this first. You know what? I'm going to do this other thing first. And it kind of depends on what pays off. Okay, so Xerolayne heading in near Botwoon. Get a save at the Aqueduct here. I think he just doesn't want to farm. He doesn't really want to farm, but he also doesn't want to like get soft locked in Botwoon with like a lousy ammo or something. So let's see how it goes. But he does have charge and wave active, so he'd be able to set up the X Factor on bot 1 if he wants to. Oh, the alley-oop, yeah. Oh, sorry, I missed it. I was looking at Zero setting up for bot wound. But yeah, gotta love that foosball if you get. Uh, sorry, if you get the mock ball through that little tube and then hop out at the end with spring ball. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. People love the foosball. MrGuyAverage flying through the parlor. What a great feeling. Flying on the ceiling. Rolling on the floor. Blowing up space pirates. Heading through the pink door. I did not think that this was going to entirely turn into a poem, but MrGuyAverage's movement is like poetry in motion, so I guess it fits. So he's going into Torian with that Ice Wave, Charge Ice Wave combo, and 44 out of 45 supers. So he's going to do some combination of beams and supers on Mother Brain, it looks like. And he's got Ice, so he could do a Zeb skip if he wants to even do a speed Zeb skip. I don't know. But either of those are on the table, and the Metroids are facing the wrath of MrGuyAverage right now. Meanwhile, Xerolayne's heading into Dragon as MrGuyAverage is at Metroid Room 3. Knocking him out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he really wanted to hit that third Metroid and just keep on moving, but good backup. Made it through. Still really fast room. Oh, that Metroid grabbed him. But he could escape. Oh, he could escape if he had Morph Bombs, but instead he's going to have to go for this backup and use Power Bombs. Xerolayne in Dragon. He's got the grapple beam selected, so it looks like he's going to go for the quick grapple kill on the left side. Grapples! Watch that health go down. Dragon's also taking damage from the turret. And goes down. Nice. Definitely nice to get Dragon with that quick grapple. Feels good. Okay, so while Xerolayne's exiting Dragon, MrGuyAverage is setting up for a baby skip. A few jumps here. You can kind of jump rope with the baby. And if you don't get grabbed, you can actually save some time in this room. And it looks good. Getting through without having to do a refill. Nicely done, MrGuyAverage, the baby skip. Zero just wobbled across the Coliseum there. Space jumping. Flying through the game. Speed running. MrGuyAverage looks like he's setting up the ice for Zeb skip. And he's through. So all the other Zebs won't appear. A little bit of a trick there to skip through the Zeb tights with iframes. Definitely an intricate trick. Once you try and learn it, you figure out like, well, what's this enemy? How does it work? And where does it exist? And to try and manipulate that. It's a very interesting one to learn. Okay, so MrGuyAverage with about 37 supers heading into the Mother Brain fight. And this is going to be a little bit longer fight than usual because of that kind of weakened beam combo he's got. Meanwhile, Xerolayne heading out the top of Meridia. And MrGuyAverage taking a bit of a hit there. He's got to definitely put a bunch of beam shots into Mother Brain here. I don't know the exact count, but if somebody knows their Super Metroid Wiki damage webpage. Okay, there's the catch-up, so we're reaching the end of the fight here. I will count the shots. 7. So probably about 37 shots here. 38. Probably about 30 more, or probably about 20, 25 more shots. It's got to keep on going, but the nice thing about the ketchup is it's pretty predictable. You can watch that hand, Mother Brain's hand, go back. Okay, maybe it was fewer than I thought. That was about 20, 28 shots. So I lost count. Anywho, good news for Mr. Guy Average. He made it through that Mother Brain 2 unscathed. He could use the grapple. Can that grapple out there just for fun? Yeah, Zero never grabbed high jump boots. It was at Precious Room. He just didn't feel like checking it. Point in the run, he was probably just feeling like, I gotta go. Oh, did he see them? Oh, I didn't see that. Interesting. Maybe he was really just getting maybe he just had it in his mind like, if it's not plasma, I'm gone. You know, that could be. And I mean, if you wanted to baby skip that, you know, you probably want that high jump boots, but maybe he doesn't do baby skip. I don't know. Okay, so Zero is now entering room 1, and Mr. Guy Average is entering Mother Brain phase 3. So this is when you get the hyper beam activated, and you can just blast Mother Brain's head off with a with a rainbow shot. Kind of the advanced play is to stand as close as you can to Mother Brain so that these beams are on screen as little as possible. If you stand like far back in the corner, you can just kind of like let it happen, but the beams do cause a lot of lag if they're on screen. So the best way is to kind of stand close, really pop those shots right into Mother Brain's face. And Mother Brain is down. Xerolayne finishes the last Metroid room. So it ain't over till it's over, but it's looking like Guy Average has got this one pretty much in hand. With that blue bomber on the exit, very nice. Saves that little bit of time from the Shine Spark not having to wait on the ceiling. Blue bomber. Very nice. And smooth. Okay, Mr. Guy Average running right into the climb here. See that spark up with the speed booster? Zero finishes getting grabbed by the baby. He's going to be taking that refill, but I don't think he's going to be in suspense for too much longer as Mr. Guy Average is flying through the parlor, shooting out the door, getting smacked up by steam. Stop it! Stop smacking me! And Mr. Guy Average with the win, heading into the ship. GG. With a time of 1:05:08, according to official SRL time. Well played, and just a great show of, you know, so many awesome movement tricks and so many speedrunner, you know, just an entire tool bag of a toolkit of moves. You saw the whole Swiss Army knife today from Mr. Guy Average, especially in that lower Norfair. A lot of great tricks, a lot of great room strats, and, you know, just putting it all together into wonderful run. So well done, Mr. Guy Average, putting it together. That randomizer knowledge, along with you know, all that sweet movement, and a lot of great tech as well. Saffron says,
Yeah,
"I hope
thank
I
you.
don't face him." Yeah. Hey, welcome, Mr. Guy Average.
Yo,
Congratulations on the win.
thanks, yeah. Um, yeah, I think that seed wasn't that bad.
but I made a lot of pretty bad plays, I think. I was just I'm like bombarded with all this information, you know, and I don't really know how to route out yet. I don't have that rando experience.
I see. I mean, you found the climb supers gravity, which was really a beneficial play. So, I mean, I think that was actually big brain to like be like, well, I don't have speed booster yet, but I'm gonna go check this because, I mean, we happened to see what happened because Zero went down first and kind of cleared out the. So we sort of had the knowledge to know like, whoever goes to climb supers first is probably gonna find it. It worked out.
I see.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah, because I wasn't gonna grab it until after Norfair, but I realized that I don't know how to do bootless lava dive. So,
Oh, that's what
like,
happened. Okay.
yeah, I went there and I was like, oh wait, I have to do, strat that I never learned. So,
Oh, that's what it was. That was the next thing I was going to ask because we saw you go down for the lava dive, and I saw you going in for that quick entry with the morph, and I was like, oh, okay, so he knows how to do the high jump this lava dive. But then when you kind of went out of there, I was like, okay, maybe he like made a deal with himself, like, well, if I don't get it on the first try, I'm out of here. But if you just haven't learned it, yeah, I totally respect that.
yeah, yeah, I should have. Yeah, it's stuff like that like I don't know. It's kind of just like a brain fart right there. I thought I had high jump boots for some reason, so I walked in there and I was like, oh, no, I don't.
You
So
don't
yeah.
have it. Oh man, yeah, it was definitely fun to watch, and yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Well, what about the high jump with lava dive? They bailed on it, and I was like, well, you know, maybe you can do it. Maybe it's kind of a like, okay, maybe not today, kind of a thing. But yeah,
Yeah,
you knew where gravity was, so you were good to go.
yeah, I'm glad I did check that. I'm
Yeah, it
glad I
definitely
went
paid
wreck
off.
ship first too. I think that was like a really lucky play for Varia to be there. It was crazy.
Yeah, because when you went in there with that low health, definitely a scary Phantom fight. I mean, we were watching and going like, "Oh no, don't take another hit." It was close, but you looked like you were confident and knew what you're doing. So, in the back of my mind, I was like, "He's not gonna die. He's not gonna die."
Yeah, yeah, it was a little scary. I think I went to like 12 health or something, but I've done the Phantom fight so many times on low health. Like if I can't beat him at this point, like that's just come on, man. What am I doing?
Well, hey, respect, man. That was pretty scary. I probably would have I probably would have I probably would have lost my cool, but you hung in there and finished him off, so that was awesome. And then finding that Vari suit, yeah. So I mean, it seems like the play was like, well, if Varia's up here, then gravity must be out there, and not in Norfair. So that was kind of what
Right.
the story that was being told, I guess.
Oh, so yeah, what I thought was, I mean, I don't know. Is it was it in logic for me to have to get Varia and Gravity still be in Norfair, or is that
No,
not in logic?
speed booster was at Kraid, and Ice
Right.
Beam was like right at the beginning of the game. So with all that, you can do climb supers. So gravity was
I
meant to
see.
be the first suit, and then you could fight Phantom more easily.
Oh,
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
think
I
like
guess
well,
it.
climb supers that's like an advanced item, but with what you had access to, it would work out.
Okay, interesting. I actually didn't know that. Yeah, so actually the play probably would have been Kraid first, and then go up into Wreck Ship, and then so basically do KPDR.
Yeah,
And
that could
yeah.
have worked too. I mean, that's basically what Zero did. He went down. I think he went down to Kraid, found the speed booster, ended up coming back up to Wreck Ship and full cleared it and found the Vari suit. And then we were all going like, "Go check climb supers," because at that point we'd
Yeah,
already found it. But
yeah.
it was like, "Oh man, if he goes down without without it, it's gonna be bad." But he ended up going back for it, so he's not too far behind you if you're looking at the stream.
Yeah, it was a lot closer race, yeah, than I thought. I mean, I definitely felt like I was behind after that little brain fart in Norfair. Like I was like, oh shoot, now I have to run over, get gravity, and then come back. And yeah.
Well, I mean, you were doing a lot of things there in Lord Warfare. That Ridley fight was like
Oh,
a lightning flashed, and then Ridley was dead. And
um,
then getting out of the Lord Warfare escape, we were all clenching.
dude, yeah, actually, that Ridley fight was insane. That was an insane Ridley fight. I don't think I've ever fought him as fast as I just did there.
Yeah, it was
That'll be a
amazing. You got
record
the
for
X
me.
Factor, and then just supers were flying, and it was over.
Yeah.
Zero going to save the animals, or taunt the animals. I guess we'll see. Saving the animals. Well, hey, last one out. Save the animals, will ya? Everybody out! Gotta love it. Well, let's see. Going into the 3-1s group, how are you feeling?
Yeah, 3-1's group is definitely competitive. Like that's definitely upper tier kind of players.
Well, definitely be fun to watch.
Yeah,
Love
I'm not
seeing your
sure.
sweet movement.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Just giving a show. Rando is definitely a place where you can really show off some awesome movement. That you wouldn't see anywhere else. So yeah, I'm glad to do that.
Fun. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to watch. I know a lot of people were mentioning like, I don't think I want to go up against MrGuyAverage. Yeah. In a straight fight.
Yeah, I've definitely lost plenty of rando races. You just
Sure, yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah, if you're good at planning and routing, then you'll beat me because I can't do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, welcome to Xerolayne. GG.
Hello, thank you very much.
GG on the
Nicely
race, man.
played. Yeah, we wanted to yeah, tell us about your time through the seed.
What? Got a little jittery at the beginning because I talked myself into MGA, Mr. Guy Average, tough competitor, and I knew that going in. I tried to take it easy, but I was still giving myself a little bit of the shakes at first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the logic threw me for a little bit of a loop of I wasn't exactly sure what was intended. And when I got around to thinking, oh, it's like find grapple, go get space jump from spooky missiles and come back sort of thing. I was like, this is weird. I don't know what to make of it. I ended up
Mm-hmm.
taking an extra loop around the first time because I was going to go to wreck ship early on and went, I don't want to do that with 2 tanks and nothing. So
Yeah, it was scary.
ended
Spooky
up going
even.
back around and then just did I know I have everything for climb supers. I was going to guess. And
Yep. Good
apparently that was the
guess.
thing.
Yeah, we were watching the stream. Mr. Guy Average went to the wrecked ship first and full cleared it, found Varia, and then you went down. So we had the knowledge of being like, it's got to be a climb supers. And then when you guys went and found it, it was like, okay, race to the finish.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting
Yeah.
seeing that ice beam right away too. Of course, you turn it off at the beginning, but it's like it's nice to know you have it.
Yeah. And then seeing charge early on too. I mean, okay, I can basically come back for that any time. Like it could even be the very end because you don't really need it for much else unless you happen to have microwave, which I never saw. Plasma, which was
Yeah, we never
was
saw it.
Yellow Meridian. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
so the
I
beach.
guess the credits are coming. Sure, sure. Yeah, what was the other big moment we were thinking about? Well, yeah, I think you said it like you're kind of like looking for a clue, and you're like, I found grapple, but I don't really have Fantoon E-tanks, so what do I do? And I think you both kind of ran into that, and you're like, well, you went and
I
fought
won't.
Fantoon with 3 tanks, and you decided to go down, and found something else. So
Well, that's true. And when I found speed behind Crate, I was like, I'm not supposed to be here just yet, but where's the thing I need to get here?
mm-hmm.
I went down to business center, I found screw attack and went, this is bizarre. Like, what did I miss? And then
Mm-hmm.
there are parts of the logic that I'm not 100% on. Like, if going into spooky missiles with grapple and coming back is sort of a logical thing to do, because that's real roundabout. But
Yeah, you're right though. Like I guess that is the Kraid logic. You know, technically it's like, hey, you have access to space jump, you have access to Kraid, you have access to the speed booster. Now you can go to the climb supers and get your gravity. Now you can fight Fantoon. I mean, logically speaking, but yeah, you can skip over a lot of that. It's a good play.
definitely a seed that was going to lead people in a loop several times if they let it, but I don't know. It came down to a bit of guessing and then a bit of not forgetting to check something a little abstract.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play it a little bit textbook and not really make too many crazy decisions, because that was just going to put me in a weird position. So I said, just play it as it is. And then I didn't do anything too crazy and ended up in Turian before MGA finished, which I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Yep. I think he was fighting Mother Brain 2 or 3 when you were like at the end of the. I think it was into Mother Brain 3 as you were like finishing the Metroids. So yeah, a few minutes behind as you saw, but yeah. Last bit here, going into the 2-2s now. Zero. How you feeling about going with the 2-2s with me?
I think it's a great field going in here. We coming into week 4, I feel like we've balanced it out where the people who are really, really good and really deserve to have the good records, they are starting to build those. So they're going to be facing off with each other. And we've sort of shaken out like, okay, Mr. Guy Average probably was a little bit better off than some of the people who had 2-1 records going in. So I think we're going to see a lot more like slugfest, fight them out, beat them up, really good games going forward. They're going to be really good matchups kind of across the board. So as excited as we've been about all the games that we've seen so far, they're just going to get better and better as we go. So that's very exciting to look forward to.
Very true. GG's to both. Follow the runners, follow the broadcast team. Tommy Lee, 67, was on tracker tonight. Red was on the restream. So thanks to everybody for being involved. GG's Mr. Guy Average, Xerolayne. Any final words from you, MGA?
Yeah, just thanks for coming, man, and thanks to Red and Tommy for tracking and restreaming. That's what makes this a great show to watch. It's like we got this whole crew of people, willing to help, and we all like playing Super Metroid, and that's what we're here for. So yeah.
Love it. Thanks. Zero, final thoughts?
Most definitely along the same lines. Just thanks to everybody behind the scenes and all the organizers and everything, because I know it's plenty of fun to have a bunch of Super Metroid randomizer out there in the world, but bringing it all here with the community and a sense of progress and a lot of fun. Everybody who makes this possible is a big round of applause to them.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm Iron Rusty signing off. Have a good evening. There's definitely more games this week, so enjoy.